सर सर एकच मिनिट मी फक्त ते YouTube वर हे करत आहे ना सर.
एक लिंक भेजी थी ना करने लिंक
बरोबर नाही
थोड़ी सकते माणसं जे काम करते क्या सोनाली मॅम भी
बरोबर
गुरुजन मध्येच आहे का? हो गुरुजन मध्ये डॉक्टर सुरेश.
It is request to all the participants to please mute your microphone. It is an request to all participants to mute your microphone.
Hello.
एक त्याने पण कॉल केली ना ते फर्स्ट इयरचे आणि तुझ्या
मॅडम मग वेकेशनला आहात ना मला
हो
कधी आहे कधी पण स्टार्ट आहे
12
चालू ठेवून द्या आपली
हो हो
आणि मेनवाली की आपल्या डिप्लोमा तुमची युनिव्हर्सिटीला वरती थोडस सांगून ठेवा एक
हो सांगितलं
A very good afternoon to all the participants. I heartily welcome you all for the training program. Within a few minutes, we are going to start our session. Thank you. I heartily welcome to Gawande sir. Sir, within 5 minutes, we are going to start the session. Hello, I am audible.
Yes,
Hello?
you are audible, ma'am.
Okay.
But sir is not audible.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir, you are audible now, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, Principal sir, can we start the session?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, guests, faculty members, and participants. With the great joy and immense pleasure, I heartily welcome everyone on behalf of Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities of P.R. Kote Patil College of Engineering and Management, Amravati. I, Dr. Gauri Deshpande, welcomes you all to the inaugural ceremony of IST approved 1-week online STTP on research publications, copyright, patents in science and technology. It is organized by Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities of P.R. Kote Patil College of Engineering and Management, Amravati from 3 July to 7 July 2023.
इस जुलाई महीने से ही हमारे देश में क्या सस्ता हुआ और क्या महंगा हुआ, जिनका आम आदमी के जीवन पर बड़ा असर पड़ेगा। चीजें हैं जो रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में हमारी काम आती हैं, उन पर सस्ता महंगा को लेकर अपडेट आ रहा, तो जरूर देखिएगा। एलपीजी गैस सिलेंडर के नए रेट भी जारी हो चुके हैं। इसके अलावा दूध, दही, आटा, दाल, चावल वगैरह पर भी अपडेट है। तो आइए एक एक करके सभी सस्ता महंगा की खबरें देखते हैं। देखिए, आम आदमी को एक तो राहत मिलने वाली है दाल की महंगाई से, क्योंकि सरकार ने एक बड़ा फैसला लिया जिसके जुलाई से दालों के जो है प्राइस मतलब कम होने लगेंगे, घटने लगेंगे। उपभोक्ता मामलों के सचिव कुमार सिंह ने कहा कि पिछले साल की तुलना में 20% कम दूध के दाम के। अच्छा भाई, राजस्थान में देखिए
Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Okay, sorry for the interruptions. Further, I start the program. Hello. फिर से आता है, prediction चल रही है यहाँ पे, मैं मोबाइल से करती हूँ। सॉरी। Hello. Due to some internet problem, we have start our program now. A very good afternoon to all the respected dignitaries, guests, faculty members, and participants. With a great joy and immense pleasure, I heartily welcome everyone on behalf of Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities of P.R. Pote Patil, College of Engineering and Management, Amravati. I, Dr. Gauri Deshpande, welcome you all welcome all to the inaugural ceremony of IST approved 1 week online STTP on research publications, copyright and patents in science and technology, which is organized by Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities of P.R. Pote Patil College of Engineering and Management, Amravati from 3rd July to 7th July 2023. First and foremost, may I take this opportunity to welcome the Honorable Chairperson of today's function, His Excellency Honorable Shri Praveen Kumar Pote Sir, President of P.R. Pote Group of Educational Institution, Amravati, the man with a distinct vision. Sir, you have made all of us proud by your distinguished work with enormous capacity. I welcome Honorable Mr. Shreyas Kumar Pote Sir, Vice President, P.R. Pote Group of Educational Institution, Amravati. I welcome Honorable Dr. D.T. Ingole Sir, Principal, and Dr. Mohammad Zuhair Sir, Vice Principal of P.R. Pote Patil College of Engineering and Management. I extend my gratitude towards Honorable Guest Speaker Dr. B.B. Gawande, Department of Mechanical Engineering, VP, KB Institute of Engineering and Technology, Baramati, on behalf of our college. I extend my warm welcome to all our valuable and distinguished guests, academicians, researchers, experts, all the respected deans, HOD of various departments and faculty members for honoring us with their presence in an inaugural ceremony, and to all the participants for giving a huge response to this STTP. The objective of this STTP is to give a participant knowledge about the importance of research publications, copyright and patents in science and technology for quality research work. Now, I would like to request Professor H.S. Kulat Sir, HOD, Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities and STTP convener to say a few words on this occasion. Please, sir. Kulat sir. I request Kulat sir to please start the session. Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Honorable Dr. D.T. Ingole, Principal, T.R. Pote Patil College of Engineering and Management, and Chief Guest of Honor of this STTP. Honorable Dr. Mohammad Zoher, Vice Principal and Guest of Honor of this STTP. Today's keynote speaker, Dr. Vipin Gawande, Assistant Professor, Vidya Pratishthan, Kamal Nayan Bajaj Institute Engineering and Technology, Baramati. My colleagues, Dr. S.A. Bhujne and Dr. S.P. Shahare, all deans, respected HODs, participating faculties, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of organizing committee, I bid you a very warm welcome. It gives an immense pleasure to announce that IST sponsored 1 week online STTP on research publication, copyright and patents in science and technology is being organized by Applied Science and Humanities Department, T.R. Pote Patil College of Engineering and Management, Amravati, from 3rd of July to 7th of July 2023. The objective of this STTP is to improve the writing skill of research paper for publication in renowned journals, to understand the impact of publication and the patents in the academics and research, to improve the teaching skills by doing research, to introduce the research methods and methodologies, to understand the procedure of patents registration, to introduce the plagiarism detection, removal tools and techniques, to be aware about the technology transfer, patents and copyright, and overall of intellectual property. The course contains the writing research paper for reputed journals, abstract to publication, ethics in research and plagiarism, how to get a patent register, technologies transfer, patent and copyright, and overall of intellectual property, impact of publication and patents in academic and research, introduced to research methods and methodologies. With the world entering the digital era and its economy being a knowledge economy highly dependent on innovation and research, engineers are going to play a major role in this vast transformation of the world's economy. So we hope that this STTP would certainly induce objective to make aware the engineering faculty how to write the research paper for reputed journals, how to get the patent register, technology transfer, impact of publication and patents in the academic research, introduction to research methods and methodology. So we thank to our management for their vision and leadership. I would like to congratulate to organizing committee for their valuable efforts in organizing this STTP. So we wish all the STTP participants a big success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your words. After this, I requested our principal, Dr. D.T. Ingole, sir, to address on this occasion. Please, sir. Hello. I request Dr. D.T. Ingole, sir, to address us on this occasion. Okay. Yes, sir. Wait.
Thank you. I hope I am audible. Hello.
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Thank you very much. So it gives a very immense pleasure to announce that our college, our institute, PR Pote Patil College of Engineering and Management, and the Department of Applied Science and Humanities, particularly, they organized this IST, approved a 1 week online STTP, which is on a very required topic nowadays, that is on research publication, copyright, patents in science and technology. Of course, due to certain constraint, we have organized this online, but in coming days, certainly we are going to, this will be on offline also. I'm very much thankful to the eminent speaker of this STTP, particularly Dr. Vipin Gawande, Dr. S.D. Chaudhary, Dr. Hari Prasad Paikwar, then Mr. Saurabh Trivedi ji, Dr. Urmila ji, Dr. Latesh, and I think there are many more who would like to join in between as per their commitment. And I'm also thankful to particularly Professor Kulat and Professor Bhojne Madam, Dr. Shahari Madam for organizing such a wonderful STTP on behalf of our institution. And also thankful to all the participants, particularly because now everywhere the session is now started. Most of you might be busy in that, but still you are in a good number to attend this particular STTP. So those who are from the outside of our institution, I'd like to introduce this session with introduction of my institution itself. The name of my institution already is displayed there, which is the PR Pote Patil College of Engineering and Management, which is one of the very eminent institutions in the Amravati particularly. And we are running the conventional UG and PG courses particularly, and we are very much recognized by the PhD Research Center also. And we are certified by the various ISO, for example, the 9001, 14001, then 21101. And very pleased to announce that recently we have been attained the NAAC grade A++ also with the CGP of the 3.59, which is the very high feather in our cap. About my institution, we are the cluster of our institution with the other sister institutions like architecture we have, then pharmacy, then agriculture, then medical. Recently we have opened, then already we have the schools also there. So this is the sort of the cluster of the institution where within the campus we have so many other courses we run. As a matter of fact, recently as we have completed our NAAC compliances, so therefore we have, I must tell you about, we have a very number of good practices we are attaining in our institution, but it's not possible to convey all the practices within such a short time of span of the time. But I request the convener to provide all this information during a break session. Also, I'd like to request them to show the college video also, so that the participant from the other institution can get the information of our institution. So this is about my institution. Now, regarding this STTP, we had a very much detailed discussion about the topic. And finally, we have decided that to have this STTP on this particular topic, which is very much requiring nowadays about the patents and copyrights and all. I know that most of you are the senior academicians also. As you know that in our academicians, particularly, we are very much concerned about only the preference given to the publication itself. But we are not very concerned about the patents and the copyrights about. This particular understanding we got when we gone through the particular study of the NAC and NBA. That anytime, every time when we gather the information, most of the information was about only the research paper. Of course, there is no problem for getting such a information in terms of the papers and all, but certainly nowadays, as being now the innovations are being now taken up by the startups and everywhere. So therefore, I think now the academicians also look beyond a research paper. We know that there are certain constraints as far as the patents are concerned that we are going to discuss in a coming schedule also. But as being the part and parcel of these academicians, now we have to find out the various solutions over there. For example, as I said that as the patent required a lot of money to publish that. So this can be overcome by contributing some of the funds from our host institution also. So that way we can overcome that particular problem. But we cannot say that because of this constraint we cannot publish the research, the patents and the copyrights at all. So that's why we have to be very much concerned about beyond the research paper, that how one could have the more patents and more copyrights about. And that's why through this STTP, I think we all fellow members will get the maximum information and the solutions, particularly how to improvise our number of patents through that. One of the very constraint in the patents publication is its time consuming itself. I mean, as being we are giving the hands-on training through the STTP also, some expertise will also talk about that how to reduce that time consuming. I mean to say, in short, through all this schedule, we have to find out the various solutions and how this patents and copyright can be more popularized in academicians particularly. As I said that this is very much important as far as the application now which are facing in terms of the startups and innovative ideas which would like to offer through the various project work for our students. As being an academician, we are not giving the thoughts about how the patents are going to be useful because the patents provide you the very good commercial value also. Because apart from the information and the knowledge, this is, I think, a very good professional attitude, the way we can have for the engineers particularly. So therefore, one has to go for the project, the patents, so that we can have its commercial value in coming days on the basis of that. I suppose the one of the session, particularly Dr. Anita Patil madam is going to talk about this particular commercialization because I remember that she has developed a lot of commercial values out of the patent, and I suppose that she is one of the best person to talk about that. So in coming days, she will give the correct information that how one could process that particular one. So this is the thing we propose through this STTP, that academicians to look beyond the research work as a paper, and we have to add the research paper plus IP so that one could get the lot of weightage to our information or the research work particularly. The one of the solution I will name it here, and I'll conclude my talk here. In my institution, we have started the IP sale because we know that in order to get the information about the patent and copyright, every time we have to rush to the particular department or we have to rush to the particular agencies. So if you provide such a sale, information sale in your campus itself, so therefore through that ecosystem, we can have a lot of scope to develop the patents and the copyright registration. And through that, not only your faculty members, but also the students can also get a lot of help out of that. So therefore, I appeal all institutions, those who are hearing or participating in this particular STTP. So go for the establishment of such a IP sale through that. There are a lot of funding also available. Through that also this IP sale can be work very well. And with this, I think this STTP will give a lot of a bonus as far as the information is concerned. And in after the weeks, you will be leaving it your information to the very high scope, so that in coming days the patent will not be a very gray area in your research work, but that will be one of the important part to develop. So with this, I wish all the best to all the participants, and once again I congratulate the department for organizing this STTP on the patents and the copyrights. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for your valuable word. Now it's a time for a vote of thanks for the inaugural function. We all are thankful to a great motivator and innovator, Honorable Shri Praveen Kumar Pote sir, President, and Honorable Shri Shreyas Kumar Pote sir, Vice President of PR Pote Patil Group of Educational Institution, Amravati, for motivating us to conduct such an event. I also thank Dr. D.T. Ingole sir, Principal, Honorable Dr. Mohammad Zuhair sir, Vice Principal, PR Pote Patil College of Engineering and Management, for allowing us to arrange such an event. I also thank to Professor H.S. Kulat sir, STTP convener, for supporting in all ways to organize this STTP. I would also like to thank all deans, HODs of various departments and all faculty members for their presence in this inaugural ceremony. With the permission of chair, I declare that the inaugural function is over. Here I formally declare that 1 week STTP on research publication, copyright and patents in science and technology begins. Thank you. So, a very good afternoon to all. Once again, I welcome all of you and our today's guest speaker, Dr. V.B. Gawande sir, on the first day of online STTP. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce Dr. V.B. Gawande sir. He is Assistant Professor in Department of Mechanical Engineering from VPKBIAT Baramati. Dr. V.P. Gawande sir has completed his Bachelor in Engineering in Mechanical from Government College of Engineering, Amravati in 2004. Later, he worked as a CFD engineer at Macwell Industry, Nashik for 2 years. After scoring 90.02 percentile in the GATE examination, he joined MTech course in Heat Power Engineering at Vishweshwaraya National Institute of Technology, VNIT, Nagpur. He is also a recipient of PhD degree from VNIT, Nagpur. He has published 13 international journal papers in various reputed journals and has published 1 patent. He is also a reviewer of various reputed journals. He has total 8 years of experience, including teaching, research, and industry. He has also completed a minor project sponsored by Department of Science and Technology, DST, Government of India. He recently received a consolation prize for their own made 3D printer in startup competition organized by IIT Kanpur. He also got a first prize for idea submitted for the Swachh Innovative Technology Challenge organized by Nagar Parishad Baramati. His research interests include solar energy, computational fluid dynamics, augmented and virtual reality, Internet of Things, etc. So, without taking more time, here I request to Dr. Gawande sir to please start the session on topic writing research paper for reputed journals, abstract to publication, ethics in research and plagiarism. Please, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much, ma'am. So I hope my screen is visible. Ma'am?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible perfectly,
Yeah.
and your voice
Okay,
is perfect.
Okay, ma'am. So okay, thank you very much. So 1 minute. So thank you very much for inviting me as a guest speaker for this STTP. In the beginning only, I am thankful to Dr. DT Ingole sir, all the management and the faculty members for the organizing committee for this STTP. So in my today's sessions, I will talk about how to write a research paper for the reputed journals, and I will mainly concentrate on the publication process, that is from the abstract to publications. And in the latter part of my the presentations, I will also focus on the plagiarism aspect also. So these are the two institutes which have given me a firm technical background. So that is already there in my introduction. So this is a researcher dream now to publish their research papers in these reputed journals. Okay, and as they rightly said by the principal sir now, so in our academic, the publications is now it plays a very vital role. So now because we have recently got our NBA and NAC also, NAC A+. So during these committee visits, so whenever they ask about the research publication, so they only sort out the publications which you have, or the papers that you have published in the reputed journals only. Okay, so now that's why now it is very important for the faculty members nowadays to publish their research the data in the reputed journals only. So so now from where, so I have already told you, now these are the committees, that is the NPA, NAC is there, and the other committees where we have to show this. But the main thing is where when the faculty members apply for the PhD, and so we apply for PhD in institute university, or you apply for in the reputed institute like NITs and IITs. So this is the guidelines from the VNIT. So when I have joined this institute, so the first day only we got this thing that you have to publish. Now here this is from 2012. So we have to publish 2 essay papers. So the final accepted research paper in SCI or ISI journals, the 2 papers must be mandatory for the submission of your thesis. Okay, so now this gives us now the aim is fixed, so that I have to publish the papers in SCI journals. Along with this, why we have to publish the research papers in the index journals? So it creates your identity in the academic society. Okay, so that is the most important thing academician want. This also improve your writing skills, it upgrade your knowledge, and the another most important thing is you can get the funding through government agencies for research activities. So if you are aware that if you have applied for any the government funding agency, so they will ask you a list of the publication. Okay, and based on that, they provide you the number of marks there also. Okay, so that's why this is very important to publish the papers in the index journal. Now this is the definition. So what is meant by the research data? Okay, so it refers to the result of observation, the result of observation or experiment that validate research finding and which are not already published as a part of the journal article. Okay, so there is the definitions for the research data. It may be raw data, process data, software, algorithm, protocols, methods, and material. So we can work on this type of the material while publishing the paper. So this is from the elsewhere.com. The policies from their the elsewhere policies. So that is already available on their website. Now research. Now we'll start with the one by one. Let us start with the research, the preparation. So whenever any new candidate for MTech or the PhD, so when it enters into any institute, so he first asks, so which topic I will take for my research. So first, so it generally comes from either it comes from the creative ideas. Okay, so this refers to the area of specialization of the individual author, or sometimes it comes from the interdisciplinary approach also. Okay, many times we approach our guides and the guide is already working in that particular area, so he will ask us to work on the same area. Other times, so in my case, so when I approach my guide, so he asked me, see, I have done my research in this area, but you are free to work on any area. So he has given me the freedom. So I pick up the another area and we together work on that particular area. So likewise, we can work. So the picking up the area, so that is very important. Okay. Second, whenever suppose we pick up any certain area, we have to go for the literature review. So literature review again plays a very important role, where we can collect the information previously published in the journal database. Okay, so it gives us the informations how much data or how much work has been done in the previously by the authors. Okay, now how to get this literature review? So literature review you can collect from various sites nowadays. Now a huge number of the websites are available for collecting the papers. So you can go for the Science Direct, the Google Scholar. Okay, now Taylor and Francis and Springers. So they also provide the research papers also that is available. ResearchGate is another one. Core is there. Zendy is another type of the website is there. You can collect the papers from there. Okay, suppose if we take the examples of the Science Direct, so that the engineering the faculty many times the maximum time they use this Science Direct as a source for picking up the papers for their literature review. So you can go here and you can find out a number of papers. So it is easily that means it is available here, but here the papers are paid. So if the institute is having the that means the subscription for the paper, so we can easily get the papers from here. Otherwise, we have to take the paper from the from other references. Okay, so this is one form of there. So literature review that is the most important step in our the research activity. Now, once we have collected the informations previously published in our area, the most important thing is we have to ask certain questions what we have collected. Okay, so what is the significance of this research to my work? Okay, so that is one thing. Then the author argument requires more clarification. Then what issues or questions has the author not addressed? Is there a different perspective that I can consider? Okay, so that depends on method that is given in the previously published papers. So can I change that method? Methods or procedure used outdated, because nowadays the technology, the emerging technologies are there is the vast development in the technologies now, so we can use now different methods or no longer considered valid in my field. Is there any scope for me to test the finding using a more current approach? So these are the few questions we can ask to ourselves based on the data that we have collected through the literature review. So if we can answer this, so that becomes our research gap. Okay, so many times we use this word, what is in the research gap? So research gap may be the answer to the following these questions. Okay, so if we can get some unanswered questions from this unanswered question from here, so that we can consider as our objectives in our the research for carrying out the research. Now, once you are done with this, so you go for your research activity, collect certain data through experimental, the software analysis, and then afterwards, then you have to go for the writing for the research. Okay. So, so I will talk. So I will consider that we have done something, or we have worked in our field, and we have collected certain data. Now, the next step is to write down the research article. Now, if we search the different types of the research article, so it is of 4 types mainly that is given on the journal website. So full articles, then letters or rapid or short communication, then review papers and research elements. Being a faculty, many faculties goes for the full articles and review papers. Okay, it is always better to write down the review papers before starting any research. Though many guides, they don't allow to write down the review papers in the beginning, but still it's a good practice to write down the review paper, and then you go for the research article that is based on your the current working that you work on your particular project. These are the another one, the short communications and research element that we are not doing here. So how is the general structure of the research paper? Now, the many that means the students from FTech and the PhD students also, they always ask me the questions are how we can write down the paper. So because the data is available with me, but how to format my paper? So I think I always told them that there is no particular, that means see, there is you can formulate certain the steps or the title. So in that you can form your paper. Okay, so suppose the title. Now, whenever we refer to the paper, so the first one is the title, then we have the abstract and then the keywords. Okay, so that is given here also. So the title includes the it gives us the adequately describe the contents. Okay, so the what we are going to tell to the audience, then the name of the authors, and we have abstract and the keywords here. Then the next step is the introduction. We have then afterwards the methods, result and discussion. Okay, so these are the few things. After that, we have conclusion. We have to give the acknowledgement to the financial supporter, references, okay, and the supporting material. Nowadays, this part is very important. So when you are going for now, if you are submitting your paper now, so the above things are now that is common. But nowadays the journals, if you are applying for the reputed journals, so they are now asking for the supporting materials, because nowadays they don't rely on the author. They want now the firm that means the confirmation, okay, that you are conducted certain research and now you have the data available with you. So nowadays we call that the researcher must maintain the research diary. Okay, so we ask students to maintain certain diaries where they write down their daily work. So the researcher is also asked to write down their research diary, and then those contents they have to upload as a part of the supporting materials. So if you are downloading any paper also on Science Direct and other thing, so you can get the supporting material also from the authors. Okay, so now that is available. So now I have just given you how the general structure of the paper is there. Okay, so many times I told my students to download a particular paper that is already previously published in the journal, and you just refer the sequence of the paper, and in that particular sequence you just paste your current the content. Okay, so automatically your paper get that becomes the new paper. Okay, so first whenever you are publishing it as a first time, so this is the simplest thing. So I have also done this thing. I have downloaded one paper that is in my field, and I have just pasted or I have written the same the sequence. Okay, whatever that paper is having, and then I have published my first paper. Okay, so this is the best thing to write down the first paper. Okay, once you got the confidence that I can write down the paper, so next time now the time definitely the time get reduced, and you know the sequence how to write down the papers. So the basic that is the structure is now ready with you. Once the one paper is got published, or even if it is not published, so you have now that the basic structure now, and now you can put any content in that papers, and the new paper, you are ready with the new paper. Okay, so these are the things are there. Okay, now what I have experienced while writing the papers now. So first you go with the result and discussion section, directly shift to the result and discussion section, because you are more confident about that section. So you write down that, put your figures, tables, and everything that. Okay, after getting that thing, so once you got that one, so that comes in the form of the results. Okay, discussion and methods. Now once you are done with this, then come to introduction, finally comes to conclusion, and then once you complete all these things, then write down the title, abstract, and the keywords. Okay, so this is the suggested procedure to get the perfect title for your paper, abstract, and the keywords. Okay, so it is a reverse engineering. Okay, so we will go from the last. Okay, so we'll write out from the results discussion, and then we'll come to the conclusion, introduction, and the title part. Okay. The publication process. Now, suppose we are ready with our paper, and now we have to publish the paper. Okay. So now again the same question. So where I will publish my papers now. So which journals I will select. Okay. So this is the next question that the many researcher asked. So here there is one thing is there. Many the journals. Okay. They provide us now the journal finder. Now, what is meant by this journal finder? So if you refer all these websites, so journal finder elsewhere.com, okay, then this Clarivate, okay, journal suggester, Springer, author server. So let me show you what this means. So if you click suppose if on the Google, if you search, this is elsewhere journal finder. So here this is asks the paper title, okay, and then he will ask about the paper abstract. Now let us provide this thing. Suppose I will do this for you. So I will be pasting here the paper title, and then here you have to paste the abstract. So let us paste some abstract here. So I will put it up to here only. So okay, so the only two things you have to paste here. You have to paper title and just click on this paper, the find the journals. Okay, so the elsewhere will give you based on your title and the abstract. So the elsewhere suggests you in which journals you will publish your papers. Okay, not only that, he will also give you the timeline also. So time to publications, time to first decision. So everything will be here. Okay, then sites for impact factor and other things. Now acceptance rates for the journals also. This is only 20% for solar energy. Now this is 22% acceptance rates for this renewable energy. Okay, likewise. So you can select the perfect match for your the research content, and you can go for that particular journal. So this is the base thing they are. Now see, if you see here, so many journals are here. Okay, and you can select any journal that is very closely related to your research content, and then you can publish in that particular journal. Okay, so this is only the one. So let me show you the another one also. Okay, so here this is Clarivate also. Clarivate means it is the Web of Science. Okay, so if you search on the Google Clarivate, so here there is a journal. The search journal option is there. So here also you can search the journals. Okay, so here it is also the journals parts are available. Okay, if you are publishing in the Springer, okay, if you are publishing in Springer, if you want to publish in Springer journal, so there is also the same things are there. You have to enter here manuscript title, then you have to just paste it to the abstract, your subject area, and then go for the suggest journals. So that is each and every journal they provide this facility of journal finder. Okay, so so you can use this facility to find out the perfect journal for the publication. Okay, so that is our first step. Once we are ready with our the journal paper. Now, once you have selected the paper, suppose we are going for the solar energy. Now, once you have selected the paper, so what is the next step? So the next step is what? First of all, we have to check the abstracting and the indexing of that particular journal. Okay, because nowadays now it is compulsory. I will say it is compulsory to publish the papers in Scopus, Web of Science, and SCI journals. So it is we have to be very careful while checking the abstracting and indexing of that particular journals, because many journals they not these reputed journals, but many journals they fakely put the indexing as a Scopus on their journal website, and once you publish your papers, so then they decline that we don't have the indexing for that particular Scopus. Okay, so be careful while selecting the indexing, checking the abstracting and indexing. So it is already available on the website. I will tell you the another method also how to check the indexing. So go for abstracting and indexing. So let me show you these things. So how to check the abstracting and indexing. So once you have selected the journal, so then so this is the website. So once you go to that particular journal, so I have selected the solar energy journal for my publication. So go to this abstracting and indexing. So if you click here, so this journal is having this much indexing. Okay, So it is in Scopus, it is in Web of Science, it is also in Science Citation Index expanded. So this is sufficient for our for what we want for our research work. Okay. So because these are the repeated indexing is there, so we can go for this journal. Okay. So after selecting the journal, the first thing is to select the abstracting and indexing. Now I have told you you can search it on the journal page, or there is another method is also there. Suppose if you want to check its indexing, so there is the website is called the Clarivate. Okay, so you go for the Clarivate, you search on the Google Clarivate, and then go for here. Now here you put the, suppose I am publishing now in solar energy, so you go for, so you put the journal name here, okay, and then search it. So if you get the name of that particular journal here, okay, so also it will say, see, this is Web of Science. Now many the researchers or the faculty, they ask, so how to check my journal whether that is in Web of Science or not? So Clarivate is the website. Okay, so in Google, you just okay, so how to search it? So it is in, you search it Clarivate. Okay, so if you search the Clarivate website, so this is Clarivate, and then go for this master journal list. Okay, so you can search it the journals here. Okay, so if your journal is in this list, so then only that particular journal it is having the Web of Science indexing, or it is also having the Science Citation Index expanded. Now this is expanded version is there. Okay, after Science of Citation, there is another. The first one is Science Citation Index, that is SCI, and now the some journals are given expanded the form, that is Science Citation Index expanded. Okay, so you can go for this one, and also this is in Web of Science also. Okay, so if you search the journal in the Clarivate website, and if you are getting the name of journal here, so that means it is definitely in Web of Science, and this indexing also, that is Science Citation Index expanded. Now this is for Web of Science and SCI. Now let us go for the another that is very popular in our faculty faculty community. So that is Scopus. Okay, so how to check the journals whether it is in Scopus or not? So that for that you have to go to the Scopus website. Okay, okay, and once you go to that the Scopus website, so we have here the sources. You go to this sources here. Okay, and here we have option as subject area, title, publisher, ISSN number. You can put anything for the journal, and if you enter here the title, suppose I'm going for the solar energy, so that is the name of my journal. So it is coming there directly. So okay, so if you put your title of the journal here, and if you are getting that journal here, so see the solar energy is here now. Okay, and so that means your journal is having the Scopus index. That it is having the Scopus indexing. If it is not there, that means the journal is not there. It is not having the Scopus index. Okay, indexing. So you have to be, so you can check any journal whether it is having the Scopus index or not using this website. So here you have to just you have to log in here, and then you can check the journal indexing here. Okay, so that is the another way to check the indexing. So I have told you two things. One is you can directly check on the website. If you are not relying on the website, just go to the Scopus or Web of Science, the Clarivate website, and check your journal whether that is in there, it is having that indexing or not. Okay, Scopus will give you the confirmation that whether it is there, it is having Scopus or not, indexing or not. Okay. Now once you are clear, that means that now my I have selected the correct journal. Now it is having the perfect indexing. So I can write down the paper for this one. Okay, so you have already written the paper, but that is not according to the guidelines that is given. That is the particular journal wants. So what we have to go now? We have to take we have to refer certain guidelines from the journal. So again, refer the journal website. Okay, and there you will find out here the guide for authors. Okay, so we have written the rough draft of the paper. So okay, but that we can't directly submit to the journal. Okay, we have to refer certain guidelines. So for that, the guide for the authors is given. So we have to refer these guidelines here. So these are the guidelines that we have to follow. But no need to go for this one, because that is same thing. That means what we can write down. So if you're writing the paper something like this, see, so just refer one paper that is already published and you write it down in the Word format. Okay. So there is not particular structure for writing. Something is there. That means if you are writing the name of the table, so it must be on the top. If you're writing the name of the figure, so it must be at the bottom, something like this. Okay, so that you have to follow. Okay, the table names are already written on the top. Okay, the other contents are not there. If the mathematical equations are there, so use math type. Okay, so always use this one. Don't write down that in Paint and other things. Okay, so for taking the graphs. Okay, so use the that means it is better to go for the Origin software, the softwares like Origin instead of the Excel graph. Okay, because the graphs you are drawing from the Origin, so that are very clear as compared to the Excel. Okay, so there are certain the softwares are also available, so where you can take the help for writing the paper. So this is not there. So the main thing is the above content is not that means you can write down or some variation may be there. Okay, but the most important part that means they check, that is the references. Okay, so you have to concentrate main on the references, how to write down these references. So that is the most critical part while submitting the papers to the reputed journals. Okay, because they will send your paper back if you are not writing, if you are not writing the correct references or the correct reference pattern. Okay, so let me show you what are the reference patterns are there. Okay, for a particular journals. So there are two. Most of the time they will refer the two reference styles. One, the author names are written in the manuscript or in your research paper. So the name of the authors and the year is written, and in the references, all the research papers are sorted out in the alphabetical order. So that it will start from A and it goes to Z. Okay, so that is the first reference style is there, where we are writing the name of the author and the year. The second style is we are writing the references in the parentheses 1, 2, 3, and then wherever we are writing our manuscript, so in the text we are putting only the numbers. That means 2 refers to this second number of the paper, then 3 goes to the third number of paper, something like this. So here we are not writing the name of the author and year. We are directly taking the reference number from the references. So if you are referring any the reported journal, so most of the time they will follow this two type of the style. Okay, the style number 2, it is followed by the elsewhere paper maximum times. Style 1, it is followed in Springer and the Taylor and Francis. Okay, they use this style maximum times. Okay, style 1, and style 2 is followed by means of by the elsewhere publisher. Okay, so these are two things are there. Now, how we can write down the reference style. So if you are writing the review paper, so you may get more than 100 papers. So you have to write down that the 100 references in your the manuscript. And suppose by chance if you want to change the reference in between, so it is very difficult to you have to again change the sequence, and again you have to write down it manually. So to avoid all these things, there are the softwares are there. The most popular software is a Mendeley. Then we have the Clarivate is there. So from Clarivate, again we have EndNote. Then we have ReferenceWorks and Zotero. So Zotero and Mendeley, it is very popular in the among the faculty members. So there is a separate session. So for the Mendeley, how to insert the references and other things. So so if we get the time, so we'll go for this Mendeley and other things in the after section. The researcher can use Mendeley and Zotero for inserting the references in their manuscript. Okay, so it is very easy to insert the references using these two software. Okay, now once it is done, okay, so that means you are now ready with your paper. Okay, so up to these things, that means once in guidelines, just concentrate on the references, reference style. How to write down? How to write down if I'm writing the reference for the journal paper. If it is a book, how I'm writing, and if it is a website, how I am writing the reference. So that is very important. Otherwise, they will send your paper back and they will ask you to change the reference style for your paper. Okay. So up to this, we are now ready with our paper. Now let us go for the publication. Okay. So now we have come up to the 2 stages. We have prepared our paper, then we are gone for writing the paper, and now the final stage is how to publish our the paper now. Now we have selected a journal. Okay. So in the second step, so that journals only that will provide us how to submit a paper. Now there are two things are there. That means the 2 things are there. Some journals, they ask to submit a paper through the email. Okay. So, but that is not the case for the these highly indexed journals. They will always ask you to submit a paper through their the website. Okay. So here in the website, you have to go for a register here. So let me show you how you can submit your paper there. So I'm taking only the first one. That is, I'm going for the solar energy journals. You can go for another. So here, let me see, submit your journals. So here you have to publish now your papers. We have gone off for all this. Now you have to go for submit your article. So go to the submit for article here. Okay. So you have to create your author login and other things here. Okay. So once you have created that thing, okay, let me change this. So I think I have login. Yes. So now we have to create your login. Now, so this is for the elsewhere journal, solar energy. So here there is option submit new manuscript. Okay. Now click on that one, submit your manuscript. Now here they will ask you select the article type. So if you're writing the research review articles, research paper. So I have told you this type of the articles are there: research paper, data article, short communication, review article, and log this. Suppose I'm writing the research papers, then research paper. Now after this, see, this is very important. Now he will asking for your ORCID account. Now what is this ORCID account? Okay, so this is also very important. ORCID means what? It is just whatever we are getting the faculty number. Okay, so we are known by the AICTE by a faculty number. So in the research community also, there is one that particular identity number is given to the ID number is given to the researcher, particular researcher. So that ID number is called as the ORCID number. Okay, so you'll get that is from the ORCID. Okay, so that means every faculty member should have this ORCID number. Okay, because that is required. Okay, so then after that, okay. Then we have what they will ask you to drag the research paper here. Okay, that means whatever we are written, that is in Word file. So you can put it here. Okay, so we can browse it the Word file here. That means the papers we can browse it here. So just browse it here and then go for the. So you have to attach your files. Which files you have to attach here? So you can attach the manuscript. Okay, so number 1, you can attach the manuscript. Second, you can attach the cover letter. Okay, so you just write down the cover letter. Just we are writing the applications to the principal, like that means to the editor. The editor, that means, sir, I am submitting my research papers. Please kindly consider something like this. Okay, the title of my research paper is this something like this, and then you attach that cover letter here. Okay, so these 2 documents are compulsory. The cover letter and the total paper you have to submit it here. Okay, then after that, here there is here there is in attached file we have to attach here manuscript. Okay, so one is the manuscript. So manuscript means what? It is a total Word file. Okay, after that, the second one is here. We have to attach this star. Okay, so whatever there is a star is there, we have to attach it here. So manuscript. Second is highlights. Now what is in the highlights? So if you refer certain the paper, we are writing some objectives of the paper. So objective that comes in the form of the bullets. So 4 or 5 bullets, which indicates the total contents of your research paper. That is called the highlights. Okay, so highlights means what? It is the 3 or 4 bullets okay, written, which explain the total content or the total the content of your research paper. That is called the highlight. So you have to make the word file for these highlights also. Okay. After that, the declaration of interest statement. So declaration of interest means that is there should not be any that means any objections from any authority, so that you have to declare here. Okay. Cover letter is not compulsory, but just make a practice of just submitting the cover letter. Okay. Now these tables and figures, initially they ask these tables and figures separately, but you can directly include that in your manuscript. Okay, in the sequence. Okay. So manuscript content, table, figures, and everything. Okay, so that it contains here only, and then highlights and the declaration of the statement. Okay. So these things we have to, the star, wherever the star is there, that we have to submit it here. After that, just go for the next thing. So then after that, we have to select a category. So category means where the particular area you have to submit a paper. So solar energy and other things. So select the specific specialization or category, and then go for the next step. Okay. So after selection of the category, then we are here. So now here we have to select here the name of the auditor. Now, if you see here, these are the name of the auditors. So 4 auditors are there. You can select any auditor from here. Okay. Where you want to submit your paper. Now there are some certain questionnaires are there. So ethical issues, then please confirm that you mention all the funded agency. Okay. And then certain data. So I have told you initially. So data availability. Okay. So that is there. So I already told you in the initial stage, we have to submit, nowadays you have to submit your data. Okay. Here. Okay. Or I have included data available in my manuscript, or you have to make it available there. Okay. So that is now they are asking for this data. Okay. Then if you have any additional comments, so you can add. This directly goes to the editor. Okay. And the last one. So each and every section is very important. Okay. Then here you have to write down the full title of your the paper. Then next is your here put the abstract. Then put the keywords. Okay. This must be separated by the semicolon. So here the semicolon should be used. Okay. While writing the keywords, these are always separated by the semicolons. Okay. And then the author's name. Okay. So the first author, then the number of authors. Okay. So whatever the number of authors are there, here you have to add the number of authors. So I have talked about ORCID, that ID. So whenever you are adding these things, so you have to add the ORCID ID also here. Okay. And then if any funding agency is there, so that you can include here. Okay. And once you complete all these steps, so it goes for build PDF for approval. Okay. So if you click this build PDF for approval, so we have submitted a Word file, and then if you build that PDF, so then it will get that means the PDF is generated, and we get that here it is incomplete submission is written because I have not done that steps. So here current status is now incomplete, so you will get here complete status. So it is completed now. Okay. Now after that, once you submit your paper, and if you get, and after you got here the complete status, so then now the author work is now over, and now the editor, that is the editor of the journal, now will take your paper, and then he will work for the next step. So what are the next step then? So the next step is now the review process. Now the editor will assign. Now we have submitted to journal. So editor first will check that for your plagiarism. So there is certain conditions for the plagiarism. Some journals allow 10%, 20%, 30%. So that depends on their policies. If your paper falls in that particular that percentage, okay. Suppose a journal asks for 20% plagiarism, and if your journal is having, if your manuscript is having 15%, so they will go for the next step. Otherwise, they will reject the paper and send it back. Okay, giving this the comments that the plagiarism is more than the expected. Okay, if it passed the plagiarism test, then the editor will assign the 2 reviewers, reviewer A and reviewer B. Then These two reviewer will review your paper. They will send the comment to the again editor, and based on the editor the whatever the editor receives the comments, he will send that comments to the author. Author will make the revision and again send it back to the editor. Editor will again send that paper to reviewer A and reviewer B. One and second time he will receive again the comments from reviewer A and reviewer B. So the reviewer A and B, they will receive the paper two times. One initially from the editor, they will send the comments. Editor, if any corrections or any addition is required, then it goes to author. Author will make the response to the particular comments, and then it again comes back to the editor. Editor again send it back to reviewer A and B. If the reviewer A and B are satisfied with your comments and addition, they will send the positive notes, and then it again comes to the editor. Okay. So this is the choice of the reviewer to send positive and negative comments on your responses also. So then after receiving the second time the comments second times after from the reviewer A and reviewer B, editor have the three choices. He can accept the paper, he can reject the paper, accept it after revision, accept it with no revision, and reject paper. If the editor accepted the paper, so then it will go for the production. Okay. So that is the final step in the review process. Okay. So if you are, so these are the comments. So we are in now this stage. So reviewer A and B has reviewed the paper and they have sent a comment. So the comments will come in the form something like this. So this is reviewer 1 and these are the comments. So he has given me the comments, very small work, too lengthy paper of little use, something like this. So both positive and negative comments will be there. The reviewer 3 is also given certain comments. So you have to give the response. You have to so here 8 comments are there. You have to send the response to all these comments to the reviewer 1, and then for reviewer 3 there are again the comments are there, and then you have to send it again. Okay. Once you have submitted the comments, and if the reviewers are satisfied with their comments, they will send the positive comments, and then editor will send you this mail. So I'm happy to inform you that your paper is now recommended for publication. So that is now this is your acceptance letter. Okay. So that means whatever you have submitted to journal, your paper is now accepted, and then it goes for the publication. Okay. So after a few days, you will receive the proof. Okay. So you have to correct it. You have to send certain signature or documentary. You have to document certain documents you have to sign, and then after that the elsewhere team they will format that paper and they will publish that on the online. Okay. So they will send you this message, congratulations, your article has been published. And once it gets published, so it will come in this form. So see what we have started. So we have started the paper with this, something like the word form. Let me show you that one so you'll understand that thing. So we have, see. So initially your the paper looks like something like this. You have written the paper like this. Okay. And now after that, the reviewer team has format your paper, and then when you format your paper, okay. Okay, so after, let me show you here. So when it gets published, so your paper will look like something like this. Okay. So experimental now you'll get this. Now you'll be very happy once you receive the elsewhere the symbol on your paper. Okay. So this is there elsewhere. So and now check the dates here. Now see how much patience you have, the researcher has to take. So it is I have submitted the paper on 7 January 2015 and acceptance date is 20 February 2016. So almost 1 year. Okay. So the review process has taken already almost 1 year for publication of this paper. Okay. But this is not the case for all the journals. The maximum time for publication is 2 months. Okay, 2 months. The 30 days is given to the reviewer. So so that is 1 month is gone. After that the comments and other things. So you'll get the other days. So maximum 2 months or 3 months your paper get published. But there are certain journals who takes the time. So these are the different cases are there. Okay. So a researcher has to take the patience. Okay. So it is not the case that within 1 month or within 2 months you can publish the quality journals in some reputed journals. Okay. So these are my based on my experience, whatever I have shared with you. So I have published certain. These are my publications. So I have published 6 the research papers in elsewhere. Okay. Then I have 2 papers in Springers, 3 in Taylor and Francis. Recently, I have published this paper here, optimization of design. So that is in the Taylor and Francis, and 1 is there in Wiley, that is in the week. So these are the total 12 papers are there. These are my certain conference papers are there. IIT Bombay, NIT Surat, NIT Warangal, NIT Patna. So conference paper does not need much data, so you can go for that one. But so whatever I feel, instead of going for that means if you are publishing your the conference paper, just go for certain reputed institute like NITs and IITs. So the benefits are there. So these are certain regarding the conference paper. Okay. There is certain confusion that if I publish certain data in conference paper, can I use that in for my journal paper? So that is not the case. You can modify. That means you can make the certain changes, the data, presenting the data in your journal paper, and you can publish the data in also in journal paper. So that is not the case. Okay. Now the papers are published, and so I have talked about the academic credibility. Okay. So whenever you have the paper something like this, so then the journals having the publisher is having the data with them, and then now they will ask you to review the papers now. So you will get the chance for reviewing. So they will send you the invitations to review certain papers from whatever the paper the other authors have submitted for the particular journals, and they will provide you the certificate of reviewing. Okay, so now these are the certain certificates. So this I have done just recently in March 2023. One of my paper got from energy storage based on the renewable energy. So these are from heat transfer, applied thermal. So you'll get your certificate. So there is another portal where you can download your certificate from the elsewhere. Okay. So also this can you can consider this as the academic credibility. So you can consider in that particular section. So we are talking about the academic credit. Now, what is this now? Academics. So many times the another thing is what Google Scholar is another one. Maximum times we refer Google Scholar for these things. That means to see the academic credibility of certain faculty. Now here in this case, the researchers having what is meant by citations, what is meant by H index, and what is meant by I-10 index. Okay, so we talk about these things. What is citations? So if or any researcher, if he is using your paper, okay, if he is putting your paper in the reference, and if his paper got accepted, okay, then you will get 1 citation for your paper. Okay, the condition is what? That your paper must be in his reference list, and his paper must get published. Then you'll get 1 citation for your paper. Okay, so these are called the number of citation. What is meant by H index? Okay, what is meant by the H index? H index means what? Now here the articles are, see here the number of articles are, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, then 9 and 10. Okay, so 10 articles are there here. Okay, so here H index is what? 10. 10 means what? So 10 articles, so up to 10. So this is the 10 number article, and it must have the 10. It must have the 10 citations. Okay, it must have 10 citations. That means the sequence of the sequence of papers. Okay, so from 1 up to 10. Okay, this is having 20. This is on 9, so it must have 9 citations. So this is on 10, so it must have the 10 citations. So then the H index becomes 10. Now what is 10 I-10 index? So the number of the sequence of the paper, this is on the 10, and it is having the number of citations 10. It should have a number of citation 9. So it is on 9, so it must have the number of citations 9. So then that becomes, sorry, For I-10 index, every citation, that means the number of papers which is having the 10 number of citation. So it is 10, it is 10, it is now all the papers above this. So it is having 10 number of citation. So I-10 index becomes 10. Okay, so I-10 index means what? The number of papers which is having 10 citation, at least 10 citation. Okay, so that becomes your I-10 index. What is H index? H index means the number of these the papers, and then that the number of citation. That means one paper, so it must have one citation. So like this, so the 10 number of paper must have the 10 citation. So this is on number 10, so it must have 10 citation. This is on 9, so it must have 9 citation. So then it count as a H index, H as a 1 index. Okay, H index. So now if you count from here, so these are 10 papers, and last paper is also having 10. So so when I will get my H index 11, so if this next paper, if it is having the 11 index now, 11 citations. Okay, so like this. So if it is having 11 citations, then the H index becomes 11. Okay, so likewise, there is the citations, H index, and I-10 index is there. Okay, so that you have to refer. Okay, then again you can check your credibility in Scopus also. So this is the Scopus profile. You can check it. Now again, there is in Clarivate, you can check the credibility in Web of Science also. So here, this is from the Web of Science. Okay, so if you click on that one, so you can just join the Web of Science, and then you will get here your account. Okay, so it is not opening. Okay, so it is open now. Now this is Web of Science. Okay, and here you are having the 10 most recent publications, something like this. Your dashboards are there. So if your this will come automatically here. Okay, once you create your login, so you can get your paper automatically here from the Scopus. So all these papers are in the Web of Science. Okay, so here also you can check your academic credibility. Now, the most important part within next 5 minutes, I will complete is the plagiarism and ethics. So what ethics we have to follow while writing the paper? So there should not be any manipulations. Everything should be based on your ethics. Honesty must be maintained while writing the paper, while conducting the experiments. So that everything comes in the ethics. Now we will talk more about the plagiarism. So I have told you there is one thing, the plagiarism. Plagiarism, it is automatically checked by the journal. If you want to check it prior to submission, so we have to use the certain software. So these are the definitions of the plagiarisms. There are many things that, so what can be plagiarized? So all these things can be plagiarized. Okay, so we have to be very careful about all these things. Now, these are some examples of the plagiarism. Okay, so this is the famous example. Nowadays, the students are not doing these things, but when we are in engineering, so we used to do all these things. So that is one kind of the mechanism. So then let me directly go to these tools for checking this the plagiarism. Okay. So if you want to check your manuscript before submitting to the journal, so you have to use the certain software, and Turnitin is one of that software you can use for checking the plagiarism. Okay. So our institute is having the subscription for this Turnitin. So we check our the project reports, then any report from the students. So using this Turnitin. Okay. Now there are other the softwares are also available on the internet free of cost, but they will not give you the exact the plagiarism report here. Okay, because they are not having the access to the content that are there in the journal database. Okay, they will take only they will match your content only with the content that is available on the internet. Okay, and not the papers that are in the journal database. Okay, so here what you have to do, you have to upload your paper here. Okay, and so I'm directly showing you once you upload their paper, how the report is coming. Okay, so you will get such type of report. Okay, now this is only the 8% similarity is there, and now you can check. Now this is 5 number means what? Now the 5 number belongs to this 5th one. Okay, so now how to remove this? This is plagiarism. because I have copied the same line from this number 5. From here 8 number, I have copied the same line. That's why this is showing my plagiarism. Now, how I can remove this plagiarism 5? So I have to make certain changes, active, passive, or some words. Okay. Then I can remove this plagiarism 5. That means I have to change complete sentence, or I have to return that in another form. After that, this plagiarism will be gone. Okay. And in that way, you can reduce your plagiarism. Okay. So do something like this. Okay. Just change it. Just make the changes in the, now see, this is number 4. That means from here, and this much things are, this is a green thing is plagiarism. Okay. So the same sentences are there from 4. So what you have to do, we have to change all these things. Okay. Make certain changes here, active, passive things, or change the synonyms. Okay. And after doing that, this plagiarism will be gone. Okay. And then afterwards, again, check it. Will definitely this plagiarism will be reduced. Okay. So this is Turnitin is one of the best that is plagiarism tool that you can use for checking your the manuscript plagiarism before submission to the journal. Okay. If you are not having this thing, so journal, the editor will they compulsorily check your plagiarism, and then they will send you the plagiarism report. Okay. If it is greater than the expected. Okay. Otherwise, they will not send you the report. Okay. If the plagiarism is greater than that, from their policies, then only they will send you the plagiarism report. Okay. So, but you can make it. And this Turnitin, it is also available for the faculty. That means individual faculty also. We can take it individually also. I think that is 1,000 per month. That is the cost for using this Turnitin is there. Otherwise, if the institute is taking the full, that means the subscription, so they can take the full subscription. Okay. So that is one of the things that is the software we can use for checking the plagiarism here. Okay. Another thing, suppose many things, how to avoid now the plagiarism and how to stick with the ethics. Suppose if we are taking any, because while writing the papers, we take the, we copy the pictures, or we copy the figures and tables, okay, from other papers, okay. But that is also not allowed while writing the research paper. So how we'll take the permissions for that content. So if you're writing the paper, okay, suppose, so if I'm going for a certain paper, suppose here I'm going here. So if you are taking certain papers, so I'm taking my paper only here. So here, suppose like this. So this is my paper, a review of this one. And this is my paper is there, and I'm writing now new paper. This is already published, but I want certain figures now. These are the figures are there in this this paper, and I want some few figures from there. So I can't take the same figures in my next papers also, because that is also considered as a plagiarism. So then I have to take the permissions from this Science Direct. Okay, I have to take the permission from the Science Direct that I want to use my previously submitted the figures from previously submitted paper. So how I can take the permission? So here there is get rights and content. So this option is available here, get rights and content. So go to get rights and content. So that is available for all the papers. Okay, from where you want the permissions. Okay, so here what you have to do, you have to complete this form here now. Okay, so where you want to use this? So I want to use this in the journal. Okay, so something like this. So anything. So whatever your journal magazine. So I want to use from here. Okay, then you have to fill all these things, and I want to use these figures and articles. Okay, all these things. Then if so, I'm now this is my own paper, and if I'm using any figures from this one, suppose I'm using 5 figures, so they will give me the price. So if this is my own paper, so I will get here 0 price. Suppose if you are taking the figures and tables from the another author papers, so then you have to here you have to pay something. Okay, that is in dollars now. Okay, but generally we don't care about all these things, but many times they consider this as a plagiarism. Okay, and to avoid this kind of plagiarisms, we have to be very careful. We have to take the permissions of the publisher. Okay, and then only we can use that particular content in our manuscript. Okay, otherwise not. So if this is my same paper and I'm using, so this will show me the zero amount if I complete this form. But if you are using my paper and if you are copying some figures from my paper, so you have to pay certain things here, okay, for particular contents. What are the contents? So you have to pay for figures and tables, the full tables, then abstract, video, cover image. So for all these things, you have to pay here, okay, and then only you can use that particular content in your paper, okay. So this is the another way to take the permission for the content. And the Turnitin is what it checks everything for your these things, words, ideas, and diagrams, and all these things. So Turnitin is the best website that is used for checking the plagiarism prior to the submission of your paper in for the journal. Okay. The another one is just take the permission from particular publisher while using any text, illustration, chart, photographs, or any material that is previously published. You have to take the permission. Okay. So all these things you have to follow as a kind of ethics while writing the your research papers. Okay. So I think this is the simple review of my experience, whatever I have got during my the PhD. So I'm thankful to the organizer for giving me the time for sharing my experience. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, so you can ask me. Okay. So thank you very much, participants, for your listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving a detailed information regarding research publication, ethics in research, and plagiarism. Now I request all the participants to ask the queries if they have any. Hello. Mr. Pirzada, I have to ask one query now. Okay. Unmute. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, you told us about how to get the images from other papers, and you need to get the permission, or you need to pay for that particular figure usage
Yes,
if that publisher wants.
yes,
Just citing that particular figure, or citing that particular figure, or putting a proper citation of that paper is not sufficient, sir.
yes. Actually, two things are there. Many times that is the procedure where if we are taking any figure, so we can put the citations for that particular paper. Okay, so that is allowed. But in that means whatever, if we see for in legal way, so if that author, that means if he has any objection that I don't want only that means the citation there, but I want that means the permissions, particularly permission. Okay, because these things happen. Suppose if you are taking, suppose you are writing the paper from elsewhere, and if you are taking some the previously published article, the text or figures from, suppose, Taylor and Francis. So Taylor and Francis may take the objections that you are taken the content from our that means the journal paper that are published in our journals. So so that cases that this type of cases are very little. Okay, but may happen. Okay, may happen. Many times we go for this same thing that you are told, that we can write down the references and we put there the particular reference for that particular author.
Okay.
But that means the standard way is to go for the permission only. You have to go for publication. Yes.
If sir journal is open access, then
Open access, there open access we can go for that, because open access has why we are going for this one, because all these journals are subscription based. Okay, you have to pay for the paper and then you will get the paper. But in case of open access, the author has already paid for that open access. Okay, so author will pay a certain amount. That means that will be openly available for the other authors. Okay. In our India, this open access, that means we generally we don't we doesn't go for this open access, because that research because we don't that much importance is not given to the research in our country. That means like this, or in case of the faculties also. But in foreign countries, they are very much, they want their research to go to maximum authors. So that's why their professors they publish the open access content. That means they want their research content to go to the maximum authors. But generally we don't do this one in India. And also they ask for heavy amount. Suppose if you want to publish open access in elsewhere, you have to pay the amount of around 1.5 lakh, 1.5 or 2.5 lakh something.
Sir, are there any journals for humanities which are internationally acknowledged, internationally reputed journals for humanities?
Humanities, actually, I'm concerned with but I have shown, I think, one thing. You can find out it here. I think in one slide, we have gone for this journal finder. So here you can find out any type of journal, sir. So you just paste your the title and the abstract for your paper, and you will get the journals here, sir. So this is the best way to find out, instead of the that means going, or if you know the journals are available. Otherwise, if you want what are the new journals in my research domain, so you just go for these things, the journal finder, sir. This is the best way to find out the journals that are available in the or the different publishers.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
First of all, we would like to extend our special thanks for such a beautiful and knowledgeable session. This is, sir, immensely great.
Thank you.
Sir, secondly, we would like you to throw a light on peer-reviewed journals, and plus, if a research student, I mean research scholar, is presenting a paper in peer-reviewed journal, does that count, sir?
Peer-reviewed journal,
sir.
You are talking about what? Peer-reviewed?
Peer-reviewed journal, sir.
Peer-reviewed, I think, no?
Yes.
So
exactly.
Yes, yeah. So I have told you, sir, that means, sir, before publishing any journal, that is your paper, either in the journal or in the conference, always check its indexing. Because because after you publish any journal or paper in the journal or in conferences, maximum times if you apply for any kind of the that means if you are applying for any kind of that means if you are for promotion or anything, they will definitely ask you whether that is in Scopus or not. Okay, so better way to be very careful before publishing the paper also. So that is the so better way to check the abstracting and indexing. Even if you are publishing it for any journal conference also, always check the its indexing. So I have shown you these things. See here, this one. So these are my conferences paper. So if you see the conferences papers are all that I have published in NITs only. Why I'm going for NITs? see, they always publish the submitted papers in the Scopus proceedings, sir. Okay. So instead of publishing elsewhere, so you just go for the repeated conferences. So that means whatever the certificates you are showing here, seeing here, so already these papers are already there in the Springers. Okay. So let me show you that thing if you want that one. So I will show you the see here this one. So this is my conference paper. I have shown you this one. No, not this one. This one. See. So these are my the conferences paper we have published. We have submitted at NIT Patna. So see. So we have submitted a paper, and after, so it takes time. It takes almost 1 year to publish in the proceeding. But if you check this in the Scopus, so this is available in the. So if you check this proceeding, the recent trends in mechanical engineering, so that is there in the Scopus. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Any other participant want to ask query?
So, sir, you mean actually journal must include scopes indexing?
Yes. I told you the reason, sir. Why? Because even you publish a number of journals without having the Scopus indexing, that are not counted in any form. Even if you take the case of NAC, even you give the case that you take of NBA, those committee members, they will not ask you to. They will not take the papers into consideration which is not having the Scopus indexing.
Okay, thank you, sir. Satisfied.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any other participants want to ask the query? Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Hello.
You're audible, sir. Please talk.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Dr. More. My question is related to self-citation. Suppose we are submitting one of the paper XYZ journal, and that paper contain our previous paper, published paper graph or some images. So we are going to give the citation for that particular graph and figure. But nowadays, most of the journal, they want, there is no self-citation in the submitted papers. So how can we give the answer, or how can we solve the problem related to self-citation?
Yes, sir. So that may be the case. Even if you are checking the Google Scholar here citation, so there will be star on this. Suppose some citations here. So here there is no star now. So they will consider this as a star. Star means something they consider that as a self-citation. Okay, in some cases. So yes, these journals are not considering self-citation. But suppose if your research is suppose if you are doing any PhD work, and if you are publishing your paper in first year, and there's same content you have to carry forward. So definitely you are taking the reference of your first paper. So I have done the same thing, because if you refer my paper also, in my case also, so I have taken the reference of my previous papers. So self-citations, unless and until if any objections will come, we can go for, I think, so there will not be any harm while taking that one. But they do not consider while that means calculating the total number of citations afterwards.
Okay, Google Scholar considering that.
Google Scholar is, I think, it is not considering, but that may be the case in case of, I think, Scopus, in your Scopus profile.
Yes. Because what happened in my case, most of the time I received the comment from reviewer, the same thing, having the self-citation. So please remove that self-citation.
Yeah, because I think that is the best way to increase some, no, because many authors, they use as a self citation because to increase the number of citation. So that's why now they are preventing the authors to include their own papers in the new papers when they are writing the new papers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, one question from my side.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, many times while submitting the articles in a reputed journal, they are asked us to submit the graphical abstract. What they are expected from us?
Yes, ma'am. Let me show you that thing also. So, let me show you here. Here, graphical abstract is there, not there. Okay, so I'm not getting here now the graphical abstract here. So graphical abstract means what, ma'am? They in one that means form. Not there. Okay, so these are only the here it is. See, ma'am, here the graphical abstract is there in this paper.
Okay.
So if you concentrate here, so graphical abstract. So it is the sequence of your paper. That means you have written certain paper, we have followed certain sequence. So in that same sequence, if you are presenting that in a graphical way, that means in the form of images. Okay, so that may be now if you refer here, so some initial content, then that is in the solar editor, and then finally that is put it here, okay, or with some application. So it is just we are writing certain objectives, and objectives are converted into in graphical form. So that is called as the graphical abstract.
Okay.
Or
Thank you,
whatever the abstract we are written in the text form, so that is converted into the images only. Okay. Yes.
Any other want to ask a query? Okay. Thank you for the responses, and thank you, Dr. Gawande sir, for attending all the queries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
One instruction from organizing team for all the participants to please fill up the feedback attendance every day after completing the session provided in the chat box of Zoom, also available on the WhatsApp group, as it is mandatory to get the certificate of STTP. Okay. Now I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence. I am also thankful to all the program advisory committee members and invited guest speaker, Dr. V.B. Gawande sir. With this, I declare that the first day of our STTP is over, and I request every participant to join the tomorrow's session at the same time. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.